Hi, this is Bobby Davis, the CEO and founder of Coder Founder. I'm here from the tech capital of the world, Kernersville, North Carolina, joined by Kevin Doyle, the ever-present producer. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm awesome.
All
I'm
right,
here.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna.
No technical issues with YouTube today. So they changed a
Yeah.
few things on the back end, so that threw me for a
Yep.
loop yesterday when we went live. But today I got it.
Okay. All right. We're there. It's a little
Yeah,
snow
we're all
on the
good.
ground. It's not bad in Kernersville here this morning, so
Typical,
nothing major.
typical North Carolina weather, though, isn't it? It's like it's 60 something one day, and then it's snowing the next. I didn't know it was going to snow today. I woke up, I
Yeah.
was like, oh look, like it snowed. That's weird.
Well,
And then today the
a
weather's
little
going to be like
dusty.
what again already? It's almost gone already. It's
Yeah,
that.
it's gone.
Like, it's weird. It's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever we're up to today. We're both freezing already, so
Yeah. So before we get started, I want to tell a quick story of what happened to me today, and I thought I learned something this morning that I think we could talk about.
okay, go for
So
it.
like I get in this morning and I'm messing with my MacBook setup, and my mouse is like jumping all over the screen like this, and I'm trying to drag it like with really long moments trying to get it to move, and it won't move. And so I'm like, okay, so I leave my MacBook sometimes on overnight. So I just said, oh, I just need to reboot. There's something wrong with the mouse. So I reboot, come back, it's still doing it. And so then I'm like, okay, it must be parallel. So I'm looking into parallel settings. I decided to reinstall the mouse drivers, and I reinstalled the mouse drivers, and it's still like jumping all over the place. I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? And then I have this thought: I've been hacked, Kevin. I have been hacked, and I'm thinking, all right, I need to call Kevin. How do I reinstall Mac OS on this?
Which is
And
easy, by
because
the
I'm
way.
getting ready to, huh?
Which is easy.
It's easy.
If you ever have to do that, there's a partition on a Mac that just sits there in the
Yeah,
background with the OS on it, and you can just read it.
right.
It's easy.
And so then I turn my mouse over, and it's got dust on it. It's like right over the sensor. There was this little slither of dust right in the middle of the sensor, and so it couldn't read it, and it would just jump everywhere. So I just cleaned it off, and then it worked. Here's my advice to developers today: is sometimes we lean towards the most complex solution when we really just need to clean the mouse off. So, my advice today: keep it simple. Don't try to go complex.
Keep it simple.
Simple solutions better. Usually works.
That's
Anyway,
funny. I've done that before, though. I have had that before as well, where it's
yeah.
but I've had it before. So now my first check is to go look for dust on the mouse. Like,
Yes, I won't forget that
I
again.
know once you've had it once, it's like you will never forget that. It's something
Yeah,
about those Apple mice as the Apple mouse
yeah.
too. You have the same one. You have the same one, I think, right? Like the Magic Mouse
I
one.
actually use a Surface
Do you,
mouse.
oh, you do. Okay. Which yeah, because for this one, for some reason, it does. They do get stuck in here a lot. It's like this is like a
Yeah,
big indent here, and I do often find you get junk in there, and it's like it's just a pain to get
yeah.
out. So yeah, interesting. That's funny.
All right. Well, so we'll give them a tour of our new interface here. So, like our new interface, um, got super chat. So, if you want your question today, it's super chat, and only that, we'll keep it up here. The 5 most recent super chats. So
Yep,
that's
these are the
kind of cool if you
ones.
want
What are we this way? These are the ones from
to. Yeah,
Tuesday, still up here. So I'll leave these up
Tuesday.
here.
Yeah.
So that's
So
cool.
Quicks is top of the
Quicks,
leaderboard there. So
Quicks is he's not top of the he is tough, but he's also last on the thing. It's not a chart.
last person in the
It's
super
not a
chat is
chart
up.
like who gives you the most. Like this, that's not how that
Yeah.
works.
Yep.
But I changed this part here. Look, so recent members used to be
Okay.
subscribers. So here's what happens.
Right.
YouTube. Let's talk about this from a developer standpoint. It has an API, right? So
Yeah.
the subscriber thing. This used to be on Tuesday. This was recent subscribers, but it didn't change, and I was wondering why. Because I know we get a few hundred subscribers a day to the channel. Which, if you're not already
Right.
subscribed, I'd love if you would subscribe.
Yeah.
So we get a few hundred a day at least. So I'm like, there's no way
Right.
we've sat here this whole time and nobody's subscribed. So they recently changed their API limits to stop you from pushing real-time subscribers. Because I guess if you can imagine that, if that was a real-time like thing, and the amount of channels they have and the amount of people they get as subscribers, that would be like
Yeah.
a giant undertaking of data back and forth. So
Right.
they cut it. It updates
Exactly.
every few hours now. I'm like, that's kind of crap. Like, I don't want that. That's boring. I want this to like update. So
Right.
if
Yeah.
you become a channel member, which the people here are the most recent channel members, so Shiva, Catherine, BK, John Finley, PNW, Linguafile, thank you so much for being channel members. You're the last 5, so as people become channel members, your name will appear there, and it will sit there as long as you're one of the last 5 members. And you can become a
And
member
so like the more,
down below.
Yeah, so channel members, they get access to these long form videos. We're taking them off the main channel and putting them behind the scenes. You also get in our Discord channel, and the one thing that I told Kevin I would do, and Kevin's probably smiling, you're not going to do this. I really am. I think we're going to schedule a monthly call, and if you want to be on it on Discord, and I'll get on with the channel members, and we can just chat about whatever. And I'll help you out if you need help, or we can talk about, Destiny or coding or the latest Marvel movie, what I thought about WandaVision, whatever you want to talk about. So if you want to, if you're a channel member, we'll get a hangout session with me and Kevin probably on Discord. We'll probably do it in the evening or something like that, 7:30, something like that.
Yep.
But more details to follow. So
yes, that's going to be something we're going to add as a benefit for being a channel member too. It is. I think it's, what do we got set to? I think it's $5 to become a channel member. So if you're interested, it's down below. You can click that. That'd be awesome.
Right. So if you need help for homework, we probably won't help, but we'll talk
unless we can, which we probably can't.
Unless we can.
Which, we probably can't.
So.
Okay, so questions for today. Throw them in chat. I will queue them up, and we'll get to those here in a second. So hang around, and I will get to those, I promise.
And if you're guaranteed, you want to chat, just super chats if you're guaranteed, if we're not getting to your question.
Yeah. I'll try and do as many as I can, but if you want to guarantee we get it, super chat it, and you get your name up there too. So, okay. One thing, that's dominated the news that we've talked about just briefly, but I said, no, let's save it. Let's talk about it on the thing, because it's one thing that's dominated the news, and is on the front page of the Wall Street Journal today is the GameStop thing.
The GameStop thing. So I'm just interested. Anyone invest in GameStop this week? I'm just curious if anyone put it in there.
If you did, put it in chat because I'm interested. And why did you? Because you didn't invest in it for the reasons you would normally invest in it, right? This is not a solid company. GameStop's a dead company, man. They're a company that trades on physical video games. Sony literally just launched a console that is digital only. If that's not telling you something, it's telling you something. They're fundamentally a bad company. I'm just going to say that. They are. This is not trading advice of any kind, just before we talk about this. We're not professionals.
We're not traders. So
our financial advice is weak.
So the stories, if you've been under a rock last week, Reddit has this subreddit called Wall Street Bets, I believe, or it is WSB.
Yeah, it's Wall Street. I think it's Wall Street Bets. Yeah.
Yeah, Wall Street Bets. And basically, they found out that these couple of hedge funds are shorting GameStop. So they decided to buy a lot of GameStop.
This is how little confidence they have in GameStop. They shorted the company more than 100% of their stock. That's how bad it was. It's they're literally man, this company is so dead. We want we want to short more stock than is actually even available. The demand for short stock was more than the company was even worth. That's nuts.
So these little guys banded together and bought a bunch of GameStop stock, and the price went through the roof. So let's check in, Kevin. What's the current price of GameStop right now?
GameStop even is on a roller coaster today, man.
Today it was at 150 early this morning.
Yeah. We got down to 126. Low for the day. Actually, 112 it got down to low for the day. But look at its range. 482 it was up to, which was its 52-week high too.
That's Bitcoin,
probably before opening. Yeah, craziness. But look at this. I mean, it's nuts. So this was trading at if you bought in when this thing was starting, it started at $40, I think, $40-something. It peaked at 482. And it's on its way down and back up again. It's nutty. To the point where they've certain places have stopped you from buying the stock.
Yeah, they don't want you to trade with this thing, and that's the thing that we want to talk about. So first off, I think it's Melvin Capital that was the one that had all the short.
Yeah,
they had to get a cash infusion of $2.75 billion because of this. So in that regard, the Wall Street Bets guys won. I mean, they made the market,
right,
and they stuck it to the man, the people. So the people rose up and did it. So but I am kind of disappointed that they feel like that this particular stock doesn't deserve a market like any other stock. They're adversely selecting GameStop out as.
Well, hold on. There's other companies that they've hit too. BlackBerry, AMC. Yeah. I mean, companies that have taken a hit because of GameStop was taking a hit prior to COVID, but since then it's taken a major hit, I'm sure.
Right.
But AMC definitely did, and continues to be like, they're on the brink of like, you're always thinking like, man, is AMC gonna like go away? Like any day now,
I don't know. We'll see.
I wouldn't be shocked in the news if you see like AMC just goes away. Like that wouldn't be shocking news at this point, would it? So, and same as BlackBerry.
But they have a lot of real estate. They have some value.
They do, but do they? Do they own it? Do they rent it?
I don't know.
My guess is they probably rent it.
Yeah,
just a guess, but I don't think they're in the real estate game. I don't know though. Maybe they are. I don't know. But look, related to this, Ben says he looks to GameStop to satisfy his retro gaming needs. I think they just need a shift. I think that's probably true. They do need to shift, but they're not going to. And it's the retro gaming market. The retro gaming market is growing. I agree with that, but not in GameStop. It's not. See, GameStop's always had a bad rap because that's the place where, if you've used GameStop, you've been burned by GameStop. This is the thing with GameStop, right? You've gone to trade in a game at GameStop, and they've been like, I'll give you $5 for that. And you say like, okay. And they literally put a sticker on it in front of you for like $40 and stick it on the shelf. While I understand they have to make money, the difference between their selling and their buying and selling prices were ridiculous, and they always have been. They'll have they'll have a used version of a new game for like $5 cheaper, maybe sometimes. Right. Like,
depending on how new it is, yeah.
Exactly, and it's like, no, I'll just buy the new one. Like, and it won't be from GameStop. But you go trade that game in, and they'll give you next to nothing for it. So they've always had that, like, kind of like, everybody's been burned by GameStop. They have a bad reputation. They just do.
But you get Game Informer, that sweet magazine, like.
I don't know.
I just think you're anti GameStop, Kevin. I think
I've been burned by GameStop, so that's why. Yeah. I'm very pro digital games. I don't know. I just like the digital games. I just think they're good. Here you go. Yeah, this is it. Here's another guy who's been burned by. I guarantee you, Ben, this is a real story. Buy a game for $60, return it for $7. You can take some games in there. Don't try and take a Madden game in there. Don't try and take an NCAA football game in there. They literally won't even take it off your hands. They'll be like, well, we'll take it for nothing. They will literally not give you any money for it. They have zero value to GameStop. It's like, I'm not a fan.
But at least they were creating a market like it didn't exist before. You had like stacks of these games that you bought just sitting in your sitting in a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah, I guess it's for lazy people who don't want to like put them on eBay. Which is generally me. If I don't want to have to deal with eBay and putting it on there. It's like it's a pain. I get it.
Then you got to ship it and stuff.
No, I get that, but I mean, I don't know. I've just never been a fan. It's just me.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason milk costs more in a convenience store than the grocery store.
Well, that's true. So. That's true. Yeah. I'm with you, Raphael.
Raphael doesn't like GameStop either, man. But they're power for the people.
I'm telling you, anybody that's ever used the company are going to be like, screw GameStop. Like they're just not a good company. I think people who work there don't even like GameStop. I've heard horror stories of people who work there. Like
here's the thing that I do like about GameStop, and this doesn't exist anymore. But back when you had to buy it on disc, pre-digital. The GameStop release party for Call of Duty, specifically in Kernersville, the tech capital, was a lot of fun.
Right. They gave you a place to like meet other people. Yep.
Yeah, the midnight release. I knew the GameStop manager. I mean, like, I just thought it was fun.
Yep.
To get my Call of Duty copy out at midnight.
Yep, definitely. And this is true too, Simon. Yep. The thing about the used game market, retailers push the used stock over new, which means the devs don't get a cut on the sale. That's a common thing. GameStop makes all that money.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is the same for any kind of used market for anything, isn't it?
Now there's no used market. Everything is brand new. So like you have to buy Destiny Forsaken's like $40. So it's like it's an older game.
Well, this is true. Yeah. I mean, there is no. Yeah. That's true. When you go to the digital version of this, there is no used. Which I have my own issues with because they told us for the longest time games cost this much and media cost this much because of we've got to physically make it, we've got a factory that makes it, we've got to ship it, we've got to do all this stuff. It turns out it goes digital and it's exactly the same price.
$59 still.
Don't tell me one thing and then do another because that's not true either. So I have my own beef with that.
What it is they're still paying 30%. They still get 30% of the sale because they've just switched from an in-person marketplace to a digital marketplace where Xbox or whoever's selling it, Steam or whatever's getting their cut of the action.
Yep.
So I don't think the developers themselves they don't make as much money, I don't think.
Yeah, which is another reason that we're talking about that too, which is, that sort of comes into our wheelhouse too, and talking about just software and games, period. That was another thing they said, like, oh, if we go digital, like, you'll make more money as a developer because the stores don't need as much and they're not taking as much. But that's not true. It may be partially true when you look at, because that was one of like Apple's arguments, right? Was like, well, we take 30% of your sale when it used to be a physical store. The stores would take way more than that, and that's very true. They did. You would, as a developer, make way less.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. Man, look, we've upset Ram. He doesn't like the GameStop talk. Sorry.
Sorry, Ram.
it's popular at the minute. Sorry. We're gonna.
All right, so we'll check in at GameStop one more time, Ram. Let's just check in.
Let's check in on the
trading that, Ram.
We'll keep cutting back to this just for Ram.
$290. Oh,
$290. We'll check back in at the end of the show. see what GameStop's trading at.
The other thing that's on my mind today was we saw a couple of articles, and we just want to throw our thoughts in there, and that's VS Code extensions. And so, like, if you guys are using VS Code, there's a lot of YouTube people make YouTubes, and I may make a video about the extensions we use here at the Coder Foundry. But I'm going to go over some of them real quick, and I think you have an article you can put in chat.
Yeah, so this is the article that spawned this. We saw this on the dev. What's it called? What am I not thinking of? Daily Dev. Duh. We saw it on Daily Dev. This was one of the articles that we saw. So yeah, this was the 10 things that who was this? Shutosh Singh said that he liked in here. So and some of these we agree with.
We like, some we don't.
Yeah.
So the first one's auto rename tag, which I absolutely love. Like if you're changing a tag, say from an H1 to an H3, or from a section to a div, it'll rename the closing tag automatically.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's kind of cool. Just saves you time.
Yep,
that's kind of cool.
This one you're not a big fan of, right? You don't use this one.
No, I'm not a fan of Colorizer. It has too many colors on it. So I understand.
That's funny. It's literally the only thing it does. And you're like, I don't like
exactly. If you're waiting for the colors, I would love it. But no, I don't like all the colors in the brackets. I mean, it's kind of cool, but like I see guys using it. I'm not, but like, I don't know. It just makes it too busy for me to look at my code. I'd rather just follow the bracket in black and white. I think it's cleaner.
Okay.
So,
which other one do we like here? Icons. We like this one too. This one's good. Yeah.
So we love the icons, and then put icons on your folders.
Yeah. So it goes from this to this. Yeah. So you have like this.
Right.
You have this cool little icon next to your file types and your folders and stuff. It's neat.
Yeah, which is really great that it does that. It's kind of cool that it does that. So like, I like that. I think that's a good feature.
Yep. Okay, Prettier. Controversial for you, right?
Yes, I disagree with Prettier, but I like Beautify better. I think Prettier, especially in some of the JavaScript code and like HTML code, it tries to put things too stacked, and it doesn't make them long when they should be long. So I think it makes the code uglier. So I think
you like this
Beautify is better, in my opinion.
You like Beautify,
but you use the one you want.
Which 6 million people can't be wrong, right?
That's right.
I mean,
plus me.
That's a lot of people using this. That's crazy.
Yeah. So like Beautify is great. Prettier, I don't think it really does that well. I think it makes it uglier. But like that's kind of
okay. And
these other ones. You had one on here. Ones. Yeah. So the one that I think is like essential is Live Server. So like it should always be in the top 10 list. So if you're not running Live
without
Server,
it, I don't understand how you get it. What do you do? You load the. What do you do? I don't even understand.
Yeah.
You right-click the file and view it in the browser every time like that. It just seems archaic.
You just need Live Server. Second, Live Server combined with Chrome Debugger allows you to debug JavaScript right inside of VS Code. I think that is essential for doing it. And we use the other one that we use is obviously we have a Bootstrap plugin that we use because we're using Bootstrap a lot in the Coder Foundry. So if you're building Bootstrap templates, having a bootstrap snippet. There's a bunch of them out there. The only thing you have to be careful of is which version they're making snippets for. So, that could be 4.3, it could be 4.5. There's some 5.0 ones out there. So just pay attention to which ones that you're actually getting your snippets from. And I think all those are good. So maybe we'll make a video about our extensions and demo them. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll make that video.
All right, cool.
I like it. Hey, look what Paul says. Which, by the way, Paul is going to be here next Tuesday. So you guys,
coming in for 30's coming on the show.
So
that's going to be channel.
Cool.
Just check him out.
So that's going to be cool. So yeah, it's
Foundry. It's 11 a.m.
It's 12.
Okay. It's 12 here. He's out in Midwest time or something. Central time.
Okay, I'm queuing up your questions here. We will do these. Here, let me. Some of them. I got a bunch already.
So remember, just give us a like and a subscribe. We're closing in on 60,000, so that's cow. We're on our road to 100K, Kevin. We're gonna get you that plaque.
Yeah.
So you can hang it in your office.
Yep.
So.
Yep, it's gonna be good. Looking forward to it. Let me see. I break it? No, there we go.
All right.
So Ram has a question. We got off the GameStop thing now. We're going to do your question.
No, before we answer your question, Ram, what is the price of GameStop right now, Kevin? So, check it out real quick.
Hold on. Let's see. Just real quick. Hold on. What are we up to?
270 is going down, man.
We've dipped a little bit. We've hit a little peak here. We're going on the way down.
So, Ram, you know that it's going down. So we're just keeping you informed because we know you're interested.
Okay. So Ram does really want to know.
Yeah.
We don't mean to make fun, Ram. Just wants to know, how do I know if my CSS skills are good enough to land an entry-level/mid-level job?
Okay. I think if you can crank out a template, I think that's good enough to get entry-level, mid-level jobs. I know senior devs that look up every single thing in CSS, and they never really become experts in CSS. But I don't think CSS for entry level, especially mid-stack job, is the skill they're looking for. They expect you to either Google it and figure it out, or you don't have to have it memorized. You don't have to be an expert where you can make animations or CSS art or anything like that. I think if you know how styles work, and those kind of things, I think you're going to be fine. And if you really struggle, you can always use a CSS framework like Tailwind or Bootstrap or something like that to help you out as well.
Yeah, it's kind of not how much you know versus what you can do with it, right? What can you produce with it? Can you produce something professional with it? Then that's enough.
Yeah, can you lay out a page? Can you center your divs? Can you make it go right, go left? Do you know what a gradient background is? And could you do one if you had to? Yes, the answer is probably yes. I think I'd worry more about my back-end coding skills or my JavaScript coding skills than CSS.
Right. Yep.
Hope that helps, man.
Stick around. We'll do the price for GameStop again later, just for you, Rick.
The GameStop price, man. We know you're looking for it.
Okay. Lakshan wants to know. Hi, I got my first job as associate full stack engineer. That's awesome. Super, super cool. Do you guys remember that I asked for advice for the interview? No, I don't. What was it? What did we say? Did it work?
Obviously, it worked. Whatever we did.
I shouldn't be surprised, right? Should I? don't know. But what did you do specifically? I'm interested. Lakshan. What did you specifically do what do you feel put you over the top to get it? And did they give you any feedback as to why they chose you over somebody else? That's always interesting to find out. That's cool. Congratulations.
You demoed a project. It'd be amazing if you demoed a bug tracker. That would be amazing.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Remove that. Let's see. Height above sea level. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. It says, hey guys, how much of data structures and algorithms do I need to know before applying for jobs?
So heights, I call him heights, but heights above sea level. You don't hear quite a bit. Thanks for asking the question. It depends on the role and it depends on the company. Some companies are going to interview heavily with that and some aren't. So I think the best thing to do is know about data structures and algorithms. If you're really super concerned about it, hit leak code up and just start studying them a little bit. But I don't think you need to know everything there is to know, especially if you have projects you can demo. I think demoing projects can supersede those things, but it does depend on the company and how they interview.
Yeah, if they're gonna ask you, if you know they're gonna ask you questions, you're gonna kind of have to know the answer. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. So, like for example, like here, what I've seen one recently was, oh, thank you, man.
Oh, sweet. Oh, look, Elon Musk super chatted us. Thank you.
Elon Musk is at the top. So thank you for the super chat, Elon.
I'll come to your question here in a second.
Yeah, thank you a lot. So I think that what I was saying was, and we've seen recent things where people are getting take-home tests, and we're seeing a lot happen that this week.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning on our stand-up.
Yeah, exactly. But one I saw, just to give you an example of the types of things that people here do, I saw a Roman numeral decoder, and so that has something to do with algorithms, but like something you just had to code up and you had to make it work. And then they would test that to see how efficient it was. So I've seen things like that. So mortgage loan calculator, the little coding test we give here in the school was given out to several students, and that's where we got the initial idea from. The types of things people had to build.
We're definitely seeing more of that, aren't we? More moving away from just like this generic kind of whiteboard with something, code trivia style thing, to be like, can you actually build something? And here's 24 hours and go build it. Or a week or whatever it is.
Yeah, that one guy is this week, he's had a week and a half.
He's got a week, he's got a while to build it, yeah.
It was pretty involved. So anyway, hope that helps, man. All right, let's go back to our super chat. See. Elon, what's Elon want to know?
Go. Elon. I noticed Elon commented the other day, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So is Python the best choice for AI and ML?
Currently, right now, yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, that's the predominant choice for those kind of things. Now, what you're seeing is more and more people are moving into this space. And obviously, I'm a Microsoft fan, and you can start looking into what they're going to do with C#. There's JavaScript, like TensorFlow has been pushed to where you can get TensorFlow JS. So there's a lot of other languages that are coming in, but right now, still to this day, Python's the best, mainly because the first libraries that were written in Python. So that's my opinion. But if you're a C# person, you can start looking at ML.NET and the things that you can run up in Azure or AWS for training your data, doing vision, doing text-to-speech, those kind of things. But right now, yeah, Python's the predominant language for that.
Cool. And thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
If you're interested, £4.99 at the current exchange rate translates to $6.83.
There you go, man.
We get to see that real time.
You know what? $6.83 won't get you, Kevin. It will not get you a share of GameStop. So let's just check it real quick.
Let's see. Oh, it definitely won't get you a share of GameStop. Hold on. You got to go
284.
for 284
down. If we wait, it might happen.
Hold on. Let's check in on Elon's company. What's he doing today? Oh man, he's down 3%. It's killing me. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Quit saying weird things. You're tanking my stock.
Elon came out and supported GameStop.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So
he likes he's a rebel, isn't he? So he likes that kind of stuff. That's funny. But thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Princessa, thank you. Yes, my little digital coffee back here today.
Okay, cool.
You can buy that on Amazon if you want to buy one of these little boards. They're super cool. A Divoom board is called DIVOOM, and they're less than $50.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got, Kevin?
Marco wants to know. Thank you for the question. Right now, I'm building an issue tracker in .NET. Awesome. Would an issue tracker not only be good to show companies that do web dev, but companies that do C++ and Java due to all the object-oriented principles too?
I'm sure of it. Yeah, if you're using .NET, especially .NET 5, you're going to hit things like dependency injection. You're going to hit interfaces, inheritance, overloading. All of those things are necessary to build a modern .NET application right now. So I think it's going to help out a lot. The only thing you'll run into is if they're doing C++, generally, that's probably going to be somewhere in the desktop range. And so that may not translate as well. But Java, that could be like a Spring Boot job or something like that, you could hit up. So I still think targeting your search with the stack your stuff's written in is stronger. but it doesn't mean that it doesn't translate. We have one of our recent grads interviewing for a PHP role this morning. So like, it definitely can translate. So it definitely shows skill and ability to understand complex problems and solve them. So it's all good.
Yep. Thanks for the question, Marco. Here you go. And this is true. We've talked about this. Retro, Rob. Thank you. It's kind of funny. Not specifically a GameStop tracker, but we have talked about one of our projects being a stock tracker before, right? That may well be our next coding project. It may be. We've definitely talked about this.
It may be the coding challenge coming near you. So like,
yes. A GameStop,
and you can put GameStop in it.
Man. So yeah, that would be cool. Like one that's specifically designed for a brand, like a Tesla one would be cool too. Elon, get in contact with Retro Rob, and you get yourself he'll build your thing for you, and then there you go. You get yourself a tracker. I like it.
So we need to build that tracker for Ram, so Ram can keep track of GameStop because he's like,
he's super into it.
He's super into it.
That's funny. Okay, Haseen, I hope I got your name right. Thank you for the question. Wants to know best stack with Angular.
So I'm wondering if he thinks Angular is the best stack.
I don't know.
So Angular in of itself is a way to build full stack web with JavaScript. It's just Google's answer to that. So it's one of the top 3 JavaScript frameworks for sure.
You can use it in combination with other things too, though, right? You can use it as the front end part for a .NET project, right? Am I correct in saying that?
You can. Yes, okay. You definitely can. You can definitely can. And but mainly it competes with, if you're doing something in React or Angular, those two kind of go competing with each other in the JavaScript framework world. So, all right, cool. I hope that helps.
Okay, cool. Just a couple of things here. Just a couple of nice things I'm going to put up here. Wahiri says, "Thank you for the great content. You guys helped me get my first job as a junior software developer. That's awesome.
Oh, nice. Appreciate it.
Very cool. Thank you, and thanks for coming back.
And I must say, he's looking very dapper in that.
He is. That's a pro-looking shot. I like it.
It's got a pro shot there, man. We like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Very business-like. I like it. That's cool.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Steven here, and he's a fan.
He's a fan. All right, thanks, Steven. I'm glad you're a fan. So appreciate it.
Okay. Go to our next question here. So Ahmed wants to know. He's in Lebanon. That's awesome. I love that we get people from around the world on this thing. It's super cool. I love that you guys are from all over the place. It's very cool. We're in little old tech capital of the world, Gunnersville. Why don't you offer your boot camp for Middle Easterns?
We do. We just can't offer the loan programs overseas, period.
Yeah. Whether
you're in Canada, Lebanon, England, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia, China, we can't do that. So we've actually had someone from Qatar. Was that
that's the furthest one we've had away. Yeah.
That's the only person I know of that I remember being in the Middle East taking it. The other downside to us is it's like a 12-hour difference between us and the Middle East, I believe.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in the world.
Yeah. Right.
So you attend, like, it's not we're not self-paced, right? So you attend from 9 until 6 on a daily basis, or 10 till 6, right? 10 till 6 Eastern on a daily basis. So 10 till 6 Eastern on a daily basis. If you're 12 hours difference than that, that's like, that's 10 o'clock at night until 6 in the morning. So it's like you got to work the time frames in too. So
yeah, and then internet becomes into play. I know the guy in Qatar had a lot of internet issues. We've had people from other Caribbean countries that had internet issues. It just depends on a lot of factors. But yeah, you can take it. And if you're interested, we'd love to talk to you. So just hit up gotofoundry.com/apply, and we'll see if you're a good fit for it.
Yep. You. Oh, N17 Hero, me too. And you are too. We've talked about this before. Old enough to remember game magazines publishing game source code that you had to type in to play. It's born. Great way to learn code though, and it was a great way too. I remember I had a C64, and there was a Commodore 64 magazine that came out, and you could type the stuff into there. And I always remember there was this Frog game. It wasn't like Frogger, but it was kind of like a rip-off of Frogger, and you could program it, and you type it in BASIC, and you copy it from the magazine, and you make your own games, put them on tape.
I remember the cassette tape with my TI-99.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good old
Yeah,
days.
and see, if you're older like me, you don't. People today don't realize how good it is
Right.
now with the advent of Google, and you can search anything, Stack Overflow, those kind of things. Makes it a lot easier to do.
Yep. Yep. Okay, Lakshar wants to know if I learn Java and do basic Kotlin for Android, will it be okay?
If you want to build Android sites, yeah, I think you're going to be fine. I mean, you can definitely learn. You can do Java on Android and obviously Kotlin as well. So if you're building native Android apps, I think you're going to be fine. That's what you want to do. Well, I always said this is pick what you want to build and then learn the stack that's best appropriate for that. So if you want to build native Android apps, then Kotlin or Java is the way to roll.
Let me see. Oh, just one real thing, real quick here. Steven says, followed your advice about doing a project. Show recruiters you haven't finished yet, but here's the link to the demo. I don't think chat will let you put a link in. If you want to share it
Okay.
with us, though, go share it on. Go join Discord, and you can share it over there.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
But take a look at it, Stephen. Sure will.
Okay, done that one. Oh, done that one too. This is interesting. This has got some big red flags on it, Philip. So, hi guys, is it normal for a tech company to want to pay you through another umbrella company? Kind of depends.
Oh, so like no, I don't. Actually, I think that's kind of normal. I mean, in fact,
Depends on the size of the company too, right? If some
yeah, but
two
even
big
small
companies doing
companies may
this,
have. We have Coder Foundry and we also have Cortex.
well, that's true.
So if you work for us at Coder Foundry, you actually get paid through Cortex.
Yep.
That's just the way it works. So sometimes companies have what's called a DBA, which is doing business as, which is just a name for the other corporation. They use it for marketing purposes. And so those kind of things end up rolled up underneath another incorporated company. And then sometimes there's purchases. And so like in companies will purchase other companies, but they'll keep that same corporation, and even though they own it, but their HR and their payroll will be centered in one place. So it's not so they can do it easier. So I don't think that's necessarily uncommon at all. And I think a lot of times you'll see like certain recruiting companies, if you go on staff with them and you're on a contract through the recruiting company, they'll have the recruiting marketing company and then there's the staffing company. And that's done for various reasons, mostly probably insurance. They can offer a worse insurance plan over there in the staffing
Right.
side, and then the business has a different benefits. So there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but it's not unusual. No, I wouldn't say that it's scammy if that's what you're worried about. As long as they pay you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Let me see. What's next? Plavi, thank you for the question. Wants to know when. Oh, when is that? Oh, I'm going to rephrase this. When is an application ready for production?
Ooh. Okay. So let's say that you're building this for a company, right? So hopefully you have a scope document, and hopefully you've checked off all the items on the scope document, and you at least said, "Hey, I've built all these items." Then it went through some kind of testing phase, and then you're ready. And after it passed all those tests, you're ready for production. That's how I would do a commercial grade application. But if it's just you on your own, and when is it ready for application? When you've solved the problem you want to solve and it does the things you want it to do, just make sure it's tested before you release it so that if you're showing it to recruiters or whatever, that it doesn't blow up when they click on it. So test it pretty hard.
Right.
Like I always say, your code will always be tested. You can do it in QA or you can do it in production. It's your choice. Testing in production is usually the worst way to do it, though.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yusef, thank you for the question. Says, how can I land a 100K plus remote job being located in North Africa? Is it possible or very hard?
Depends on your skills, man. So 100K in a remote isn't like that's not the norm. Is it possible? Yeah, but your skills are gonna have to justify that 100K salary. So what I would do, Joseph, if you're just starting out, then take the work that you can get and build your skill set up to where you can command those types of salaries in remote
Because
jobs.
there
So
is
I have no
definitely
idea
a
what your
point.
skills are.
Yeah, you will definitely get
Yeah.
to a point where that is possible. We have
Yeah.
people working on jobs right now that are interviewing for jobs just like
Right.
this, fully remote, over
Right.
100K.
And so here's the secret to being good at remote. Number one, deliver on time and deliver quality. I think those are the two things that you got to do to be a trusted resource. And that way you can have multiple customers maybe coming back to you more than one time. You can stay employed longer. So on time, work hard at your job and deliver, and then make friends inside the company. Be easy to work with, share information.
Yeah, be an information sharer, not an information vault.
Yep. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Quicks wants to know, what's the founder role for a Discord server? I'm curious. So, when we started the Discord server, I think it was the first 200 people, I gave them the founder badge, because they were the first 200 that were there. They don't give you any elevated rights or anything, you just get a different colored name badge against your thing for saying you were the first couple hundred people that joined. That's all. I think we're up to, I don't know, we're almost up to 1,000 in that thing now, so...
Okay, cool.
You're the minority now, not the majority, if you have that badge.
Yep.
Okay. We've done that one. Oh, this kind of relates. You sort of talked about this one already a little bit. But this guy, whose name, don't know.
Wow, that's a name right there.
Don't know. But anyway, BC. Thank you for the question. What are your thoughts on native Android development? Oh, we got a super chat. Cool.
Hey,
thank you.
What's up? Thanks, Brian.
I'll come back to your question
right
in a second, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks a lot, man. That's awesome. Got the Stormtrooper. Yeah.
It's supposed to be random. We're supposed to get one of those at either time. It seems to get more Han Solo than we do Stormtrooper at the minute.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I'll get you a question in a minute, Brian. So what are your thoughts on native Android development? You talked about this a little bit already.
I think right now, BCA, I think that most projects in enterprise are going to go to cross-platform mobile development. So I think that the goal of the project is to build the app, but the app has to run on iOS and Android. And so if I was starting today and I'm learning something today and I don't know how to build mobile apps right now, I'm picking one of the top 3 cross-platforms to go after. And I would go after, obviously, Xamarin, Flutter, or React Native. That's the 3 that I'm picking from. One of those 3, I don't know which one's going to win ultimately in this marketplace. And that's what I would do. I wouldn't just go after Android development. I think it will just cut you short in your career, but you definitely can. I mean, and Google has the tooling out there for that. And actually Flutter, if you want to go after Google, is a cross-platform from Google that allows you to build Android and iOS. So that's probably, if you're leaning towards Android, I would lean towards Flutter. That's what I would do. All right, cool.
Okay. I just noticed Brian didn't even have a question. He just wanted to give us $10 for lunch money. He enjoys the channel. He's not even a coder. That's cool. Thanks, Brian. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man. So we'll get some tacos today.
Yeah, tacos for the team.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, man. That's awesome.
Coming back to what we talked about before, yes, I did see this. So Danny says, companies hiring remote devs, but even Microsoft, and yes, this was true, was adjusting pay depending on the area of living. This is like a common thing. This has been a common thing in these companies for a while, but now because of this remote thing, now they're pushing it even more.
Yeah, but here's what I think is really going to happen. I really, really believe this. Ultimately, they may try to do that, but ultimately your value you add to the company will dictate the pay you get regardless of your location. If you're moving the needle at Microsoft, you just rolled out, you're responsible for .NET 5, okay? And you move to Kernersville, North Carolina, the tech capital of the world, and they said, you know what, you're just going to have to take a 20% pay cut because it's so cheap to live out there. I don't think they're going to do that.
But I think that's what they have been doing right now, though. That's what
yeah,
they have been
doing. For the rock stars or the people that are always adding value, they're always going to be paid.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But
you got to think that that's not the majority of people at the company. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
the majority of people aren't moving the needle the way they think they are. They're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're maintaining something, or they're working on one tiny aspect of something.
Yeah.
But this has always
here's
been
what
the
I will
case, though.
say. I will say this too, though. So let's say that you're just coming into Microsoft and you're living in North Carolina or Ohio or somewhere other place, not San Francisco, not Seattle, Washington. The pay they offer you still may be better than what you're making anyway. So
Correct.
always,
Correct.
just look at your current situation, and if it works for you, go for it, go do it, And then I think ultimately, if you're in Microsoft for 10 years, you're going to get paid what you're worth, and not for you where you are. They're going to pay you if you're moving the needle.
I think for a long time, large companies have been doing this. My wife works in the banking industry, and she'll look at jobs sometimes, and it'll be like, this one job will have 2 different pay scales. One if you work in South Carolina, and one if you work in New York.
That's crazy.
They have to account for sort of cost of living, I guess. Like, they will literally pay you more if you work in New York. They'll pay you significantly less if you want to work in South Carolina. Like, but I'm with you. It's like, the job is the job, but it's weird. It's like, I don't know, because I think it's because the country as a whole is so fragmented in terms of cost of living that it is like. I mean, we're not talking about like close even. We're not talking about like it's a few $100 difference. We're talking about rent being like thousands and thousands and thousands versus being hundreds in some places. It is that it can be 10 times.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like when you're the first time it struck me when we owned the other company for a while, and I was in the Bay Area meeting with the people that we had out in the Bay Area working there. It's the first time I'd been out there, and I remember eating lunch with them and literally seeing a sign that says new homes in the low 1 millions. And I thought it was a gag. I'm like, I had never, like, if you had $1 million in our area, you literally can buy a mansion. Like literally it's like the biggest house that you could think of and more.
The equivalent is that same sign here is like, you'll see that same sign. It's like houses in the 200,000s.
Right.
And it's the equivalent house, right? So it's like, it's the same thing. It's just the location.
And that house in the 200K may be bigger. I mean, like, it was just like, in other words, it was like this random neighborhood in the Bay Area. It's like, oh yeah, they're in the low 1 million. It's like, how in the heck do you guys afford that? Like, so anyway, I thought it's interesting. Yeah. I am interested in Danny, that you're here, Danny. What did you get into GameStop for?
Oh yeah,
I know you were tweeting about it.
Did you buy GameStop?
Let's check it for Danny now. Let's check the price to see if Danny's making money or losing money.
I think you missed this at the beginning, Danny, but we're doing a GameStop check-in.
Danny.
Okay, it's on a bit of a roller coaster today. I don't know.
Yeah.
AMC, you see AMC by the way over here as well. Look, down 47% today. BlackBerry's down, look, 40% today. These things are like coming back to where they kind of should be.
Yeah. But GameStop's still doing it.
GameStop's still the one that people are rallying for, I guess.
So hopefully Danny has made some money this week.
We'll see. As long as you got out, because it's come back down again. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Ben has a good question. How do you manage doing your software work and learning things you want to learn while having a family?
It's hard, Ben. I mean, but like you just dictate some time to learning. But I think you're new to the job. I think he just got a new job, Ben. Yeah. So you're going to learn a lot just by doing that. And you'll learn new things just by doing that. So you may have to spend less and less, learning things outside of work, whereas your work will give you a lot of things to learn. But sometimes you'll be gravitate towards certain things, and you'll just want to spend a weekend spend up projects on and having fun. But like family, family's more important than learning, Dino or the Django or the latest JavaScript framework, So anyway.
Okay. Danny bought in at 84.
Wow.
Hold on. Tomorrow the short contracts expire, and he's made more than his yearly salary in the last 2 days on GameStop. Jeez, Danny. So are you holding then, Danny? You're holding this until tomorrow? This is when the squeeze starts, I'm guessing? This is
okay.
I've been reading up on this thing a little bit, but that's interesting. But you were already in that subreddit then, Danny, or you just get in before this just because? Or you just saw it was coming? I'm interested. I am a Reddit user, but I was not part of that subreddit prior to this.
Man, I would sell that thing right now, Danny. I would sell that thing this moment. If you've already made that much, man. He says I'm holding.
He's going the Bitcoin.
All right, let's check the price. Let's check the price in the last 5 minutes. Let's see if Danny's a market maker. Let's put it in there.
Let's see. He is right now.
No, Danny's not.
I don't know though. He's still up. He bought it at 80 something. He's still.
You're still good. You're still good though.
Still good.
So.
Still good right now. That's funny. That's crazy. Well, that's good, Danny.
300
like
earlier when we started, so
I like it. Was yeah.
Anyway, that's funny. Good to see you, Danny.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, he's got to put it in. You got to put his next one in there.
Which one?
Tomorrow, I will see.
Oh yeah.
He's calling me out. That's okay
tomorrow.
though.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. I missed the vote on this, so like I'm like,
I'm not in it at all, Daddy. I just think it's fascinating. I wish you all the luck in the world, man. I hope you make a good $1 billion tomorrow.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And if you do, we'll get you on the show and we'll talk about it. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it's fascinating too. But we talked about this before. Like you buy stock the way I buy stock. Like based on not necessarily financial information, but more about like the company itself. More in like, oh, I like this company. Like I like their products. Like that's how I buy.
Right.
Like I buy Apple stock. I buy Microsoft stock. I buy Tesla, whatever, because I believe the company is good and people are buying the product. I would never have put money in GameStop, like even if I could have predicted this thing coming, because I would just be worried about the whole thing coming down on me, and my understanding of it isn't good enough. I guess that's my experience.
Yeah, maybe I need to learn more. Danny can take me to school on this, man. Get me on the next one, Danny.
Like it. Okay. Where are we at here? We've got time for a few more here. I do have a few more queued up. So Ali Taladar wants to know, could you please explain the workflow of an issue tracking app?
Okay, so our workflow app is built around a common software defect. So the first thing that happens is a piece of software, a user or a project manager is made aware of a defect or an issue, and that is logged into the system. Then once that issue is logged in through a standard code form, you just add a ticket. We call them tickets. Then that is assigned to a developer. The developer then gets the ticket assigned to them, and they work on it. They can change the status, they add notes, and they go back and forth until the status of that is changed to closed or fixed. And that would revert back to the project manager or the person in charge of the project. And then there could be where I push that to QA at that point, and then it can be assigned to a QA engineer. And then after that, it gets closed, and then the ticket's closed after it's pushed into production. So those are kind of the standard workflow steps. Basically, you're changing the status of this ticket around who's working on it and what the activity currently is. So hopefully that helps. That's at a high level.
Cool. N17 Hero, would a full stack sports stats app be a bad choice for a portfolio project? Database to store state, API for stats, graphic libraries for graphing, etc. We suggested a cool API for this. There's the sports database API. It's super cool.
Yeah.
It's great. Because I thought it would make a cool app.
So here's one thing you could do, man. Let's say that you're getting ready to interview. Do some research and see what team they're familiar with, and maybe the owner. If you do a little Twitter stalk, you can find the owners into this particular team, and then when you demo it, change the team to the team that he likes.
Yep.
Now, the worst thing you can do is interview for a job in Columbus, Ohio, and show Michigan Wolverine stats.
Well, hold on,
and then you won't get hired.
In N17 Heroes case, this would be making a Spurs app, and the guy's an Arsenal fan. Like it wouldn't get down very well.
Exactly. So, like, we know that there's fans that are serious about their teams, and I've met some actual Buckeye fans that they talk like they're just kidding, but they're really not.
Oh, it's serious.
It's serious. Oh, you mean you wear blue and gold? No, you can't. We can't be friends.
In Columbus, we don't say the M word.
Right. Yeah.
it's when we refer to the team, it's the team up north. That's what they refer to.
Right. Yeah.
Or TTUN if you're typing it out.
Right.
And during the game week, you're not allowed. You don't even put M's in anything. It's Michigan.
You don't use the letter.
You don't even use the letter M. Like it's that. Like it's hardcore, man. Anybody here from Ohio will know, right? If you're a Buckeye fan, you know how that is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
anyway, but yeah, I think you got to match the. I think it's a good project, and I think
I
if
like it.
a, a thing of putting in a positive spin on it is try to put the team on that's local to the area. I think they may know more about it, may more resonate with them.
Definitely. Okay. Let me see. What we got left? We've got a few minutes left. We've got enough time.
Yeah, a few minutes. Yeah.
So Paul has a question for new developers looking to get hired. Do you think they... Oh, that's a good question. Think they are better applying to smaller startups or bigger companies?
Both. Whoever's willing to hire you, man. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think anyone's has any advantage over the other. Your number one goal for getting a first job. So however you can get that done. Big companies seems like it's more it's harder to do, but they may have more openings. If you're working with a recruiter, they may already have an in at the big company, so you can do there. Smaller startups is something that you can easily call typically the owner for, and it's easier to at least get a conversation. Typically, you don't have as much red tape, HR, and those kind of things. So they both have their plus and minuses. Bigger companies, obviously, well established, 401k, better benefits typically. So I would try them all. Look for the thing that I want to do. So I want to build web apps with React or C# or whatever, and then I would just apply to all those jobs regardless of the size. So I'd apply to all of them. I just need a job to get experience. So I hope that helps.
Okay. We've got time for a couple more here. This is a quick fire one right here. Why did Flash die?
Okay.
Steve Jobs killed it. That's it. Steve Jobs didn't like it because he ate battery on a phone and he didn't want his phones to have terrible battery life, so he killed it on stage and said that this doesn't run Flash.
Plugins must die. He killed all plugins just to kill it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Yep. So yes, Apple played a major part in why Flash is no longer a thing. It's 100% they did. Okay. Dominic's 15. We'll do one more after this one, I think. Why every dev job's hired or required 2 to 3 years experience and college computer science bachelor?
I don't think that's true, man. I think you're looking at whatever your current experience you're looking at. That's not necessarily true.
We know it's not because we place people into jobs that don't have those requirements.
Yeah. So it looks that way maybe, but like you just need to keep refining your search and keep looking for different companies. So, but you also can apply to those jobs too. So you got to realize sometimes HR writes requirements and it's not necessarily accurate. If you have a great portfolio and they're looking for a junior dev job and they're requiring 2 to 3 years experience for junior devs, you have a shot if you have a portfolio. So I would apply anyway and tell them why you can do the job.
There you go. Cool. Back to Naruto again. Did you ever use Flash?
Yeah, I wrote some action script back in the day.
Even I did action script. I did a college course where it was action script stuff. I made a little game in Flash because that was the thing, right? When you're making those games, it was all Flash based. So yes, I actually liked it. I thought it was cool. It was just
little tweens. Remember the tweens?
Yeah, little tweens. Like, the animations. Which is kind of I mean, pretty much that's what After Effects does now. It's still tween stuff. It still moves stuff from one to another, and like, it's interesting.
I just thought that Adobe could have always merged the two products and make it better. Even to this day, where they have whatever Flash is called now.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called. They still have it.
It's still it still exists underneath something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let me see. Do this one right here. This is the last one. MJ wants to know if we chose the way of AI or ML, is it possible to get a job as we could do as a web dev? So I'm guessing if you learn AI or ML, you're going to get a web dev job.
No, I think he's wondering if there's significant data science type jobs out there. That's how I read it.
Okay.
He's saying, is it possible to get a job
as we could do a web dev? Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's answer it that way. Okay, you're probably right.
So the answer is, I think web devs are more prevalent. There's less of these data science jobs out there, but that doesn't mean you can't win one. So obviously people are hiring for it. There's just more web dev jobs out there. But it's possible to get a job. Yes, it is possible. There's just less of them. So you may have to look longer, apply more, find a way to demonstrate your knowledge in machine learning or AI on your portfolio. So you may have to build a website and learn some web dev skills to do that as well. So, you know, that's the best I can tell you right now. It's just there's more web dev jobs out there.
Okay, cool. So I just want to say thank you to those that super chatted today. We appreciate it. Brian, Elon, and thank you for those that did the other day as well.
Yeah.
Quick Stack Rally and Coding After 30. So Paul and Alex, thank you. And to our recent subscribers too. Where are we? Recent members over here too. Thank you to you guys as well. We super appreciate it. One last check in.
243. So I don't know how shorts work, but Danny says it just has to stay above 60 and he's good to go.
That crazy dip that happened this morning. He's
going to be safe.
Crazy morning dip. Look at that. That crazy dip this morning is crazy. Some kind of crazy stuff. Interesting. So yeah, we'll check back in with Danny tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk about it on Tuesday.
When he's made his millions.
Tell us how many. Yeah, exactly. How much money you made, and we'll all cry over it.
Right. He's made his millions.
So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday.
We enjoyed it.
And Paul's coming back on Tuesday too. So Coding After 30 will be here.
Be on the channel next Tuesday, Paul. We're looking forward to talking with you.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll see you Tuesday. Have fun and good luck and keep coding.
See you guys later.